afternoon, I'm Bob King from Chris Malt, and I'm on the Gayton Estate, where the plan is to have a drive around, look at all the spring barley and the winter barley crops for this coming harvest. The Gayton Estate, long-term supplier of malting barley to Ribera. Ribera's about 18 miles from here, and some of the crops from here eventually end up in some of the local breweries as well as malt. Anyway, first of all, can I introduce Alistair Beales, who's the estate manager here at Gayton, who'll tell us a little about the estate before we get into the crops.
Right, I'm Alistair Beales, as Bob has said, at Gayton Estate, 1,300 hectares, about 3,200 acres. About 2,000 acres of that is in hand, farmed directly by us. 1,000 acres rented out on traditional tenancies, and 200 odd acres of woodland. Winter and spring barley, hugely important crop for us. In acreage terms, about 450 acres of winter barley, 350 of spring. That's about 40% of the cropping. We've got a traditional rotation, an 8-course rotation. Sugar beet, irrigated potatoes, maize and peas are the break crops, rape having been dropped for flea beetle. So we try and grow only first cereals. We're actually going to look at a second cereal today, but this is a very light land farm, very free draining. Yields are low, so malting premiums are particularly important to us, and so the current market is something of a concern, but there will be a market going forward, and as growers we want to keep supplying that market.
So the first variety, the first field is Laureate. Laureate's the biggest spring barley produced in the UK this year. We buy virtually all of the spring barley now to Ribera is Laureate, and we've got a lot of uses for it for brewing and distilling. So Alistair, now to say a little bit about the actual crop itself.
So, as has been said, crop of Laureate spring barley. This is drilled behind sugar beet. We grow quite a lot of spring cropping behind roots. Generally get on and drill behind roots in good time. Actually this year, given the wet winter, we were quite late, but this was drilled early March. I think it looks very well. We've had 20 mil of rain on this crop since it's drilled, which has just about kept it going, but we're standing on gravel and stone over sand here. We're on chalk higher up, which gives us a bit of a chance, the chalk holding moisture, but this is extremely droughty land. But we find varieties such as Laureate have done us very well. We can generally get a malting premium. We don't apply much nitrogen, 125, 130 kilos. Yields are quite modest, 6 tonnes a hectare, something like that. But we have found Laureate last year did nearly 7, which for us is a very good yield. And we found that it is throwing higher yields than the varieties we've traditionally grown. So we're quite pleased with it. Hopefully it'll make the grade, and you'll find it in a pint near you soon.
We're now standing in a crop of Otter. Otter, the variety that's now nearly 55 years old. It's a mainstay of craft ale production in the UK. Otter Ribera is just a key to a lot of things we do. And here on the estate on chalk, this is exactly how Otter should be grown.
Okay, so this is a 60-acre field of Otter, drilled very late behind sugar beet. We don't generally drill winter barley late. This is quite a chalky field for us. It's got a bit of body. This is probably a sandy clay loam. We're mostly loamy sands, very free draining. This has actually got a little bit of body to it, not a little. So we struggled, got it in mid-December, and the reason we did that is we're very close to the market with Otter. Drill it, do some done so. It looks well given the circumstances. Very low nitrogen, only 80 kilos a hectare. Even then, we're very close to 1.6% nitrogen, which is what the maltsters want and what we must achieve. We do achieve a very high premium crop, very robust. Hugely important for us, about 200 acres on the farm. So at the moment, we're very pleased with this. Prospects depend almost entirely on some rain in the next fortnight. Without that, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. So yields of Otter are very low. It's a very old variety, as has been said. So we average about 5 tonnes a hectare, 2 tonnes an acre. Very low yield, but a premium crop. This field, if we get some rain, well, actually, we hope we'll do better than that. We've had up to the thing with Otter is a low yielding, high premium crop to make that very special beer market. Great product.
So now we're in a field of Flagon. Flagon is Crisp's most important winter malting barley. So we buy quite a lot of Flagon, nearly as much Maris Otter, and that's it now. It's a staple of a lot of the ale production around the country, and is particularly suited to Norfolk. And many growers who grow Maris Otter grow Flagon, and that's their winter barley.
So we're standing in a 30-acre field of Flagon winter barley, drilled late September, early October behind potatoes. That's a good slot and a difficult slot for us because there's quite a lot of fertility behind potatoes, which can sometimes be the enemy of malting barley, higher nitrogens. Actually, what we find is generally we get a bit of a yield uplift and it dilutes that nitrogen, that protein, and we make specification. Flagon's a really important variety to us, and we're delighted that Crisps keep buying it because it's ideally suited, as is Otter, to the growing conditions we find here on this farm and in many farms in Norfolk. There's nothing like this variety. We keep looking every year. Agronomically, market-wise, there's nothing like it either. So really important. Hopefully it'll keep in demand. A bit higher yielding than Otter. Produces a lot of straw, which is important for us. We provide straw for muck to keep fertility going on these light soils. So this, despite the dry weather, looks very well. Again, desperately need a rain, but quite a good looking crop at the moment for this light ground.
So this field is Planet. Planet is the second largest spring barley being grown in the UK this year and the last couple of years. Grown all around the world. We mainly use it for making normal standard lager brewing malts. For those of you who want to do a bit of geography around here, you swing round behind us. That's Lynn right behind us over here. We're about 300 feet above sea level here, having risen up from about 60 where we filmed the first field.
We're standing in a 35-acre field of Planet, quite a new variety for us. We like to take time to find out how to grow a variety and produce a malting sample, but a very useful variety for us. Unusually, this is the second barley. As Bob has said, we're about 300 feet above sea level here, which is a mountain for Norfolk, so we're pretty high and dry. It's surviving, but you can see pan round that the ears are out on this crop. It's struggling for survival a bit. If we get rain again the next fortnight, this will be fine. Generally produces a good malting sample for us, and we're quite pleased with it as a variety. Quite a lot about cropping and malting barley, which is very important to us. Also hugely important is the environment conservation. What we see here is field corner management under countryside stewardship and a lovely showing of oxeye daisies. This is very light land, very unproductive even by our standards, so financially it's better in this sort of option, it pays us better, but importantly for the public and for wildlife, fabulous. About 350 acres of agri-environment on the estate, and it's a hugely important part of both the business and what we're trying to achieve